All right, where we go from there, Anthony?
That took us into our string of championship matches. Kicking off with Theory facing the All-Mighty Bobby Lashley for the United States Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, look, interesting match. You got a two-time US champ in Bobby Lashley, and you got Theory, that 23 going on 24, the youngest US champ in WWE history. And look, he's young, he's brash, he's confident, he's certainly well built. And that goes up against some experienced brawn, and a veteran in the Almighty Bobby Lashley. I must admit, I didn't necessarily expect Lashley to win. I thought they might, do something, some sort of heel finish or whatever to keep, to keep the belt on Theory.
I agree with that. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
But now they're saying today on Raw that at SummerSlam he gets his rematch against Lashley,
which is interesting
because he said, "I'm going to take the belt back, and then I'm going to cash in my Money in the Bank case on either Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar after they have their last man standing match, and I'm going to have all the gold." Now, to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up with both belts at SummerSlam.
Do you really think he's that over?
I don't. He's over, and he's a good heel, and he's, got all the Cena potential and all of that. But I certainly wouldn't be doing it yet.
No, he's not that over. He's young. He's still inexperienced. Look, for his age, for how well he works.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And everything else he's got going on, his ring timing and everything like that, he is brilliant. Absolutely very, brilliant. Very good, right? Yeah. Right, natural, just a natural talent there. But the Lashley, it did and didn't surprise me in the end because, the good thing about Lashley is, can you see him really holding the belt over Reigns? No, I can't see it. But it puts Lashley in a position where he's holding a title belt. His face is there. He's out in the open. He's got some recognition. And if something does happen to Reigns, and you've got a guy that can slot in there instantly. So it doesn't surprise me that they switched that around. It doesn't surprise me they gave Theory what he got later on in the show. I thought that was probably well educated. Putting all the straps on him in one point, I don't think it's worth doing it. I don't think it's going to be. It's going to work.
No. I agree. I think it would be a silly move.
Yeah, I think he was talking loud, and I like the idea he's talking loud. But I'd be very surprised if booking at WWE would do that. But I tell you what, anyone he wrestles, that guy, he makes him look good. We're going to say Austin Theory. We're not going to call him just the Theory, but anybody that guy wrestles, he makes him look good.
Look, I think he's very, very good. Look, and you and I have been around a long, long time. We've seen a lot of 23 and 24-year-olds, and none of them, well, I can't think of it. There's probably only one that we would have had on our scene, and that was probably just before your time.
Yeah.
That had that real potential at 23, 24. And I do this every bloody time we do this. I've just gone blank, but it'll come to me. And he was a hot-looking guy. He had everything under the sun going for him. But it's very rare. So that's what makes Theory so good at the age, with the build and the experience and the tutelage he's getting. Look, the world's at his feet.
There's two guys I can think of, but I don't think they may have had his maturity, that off the top of my head that I personally. Best guy I think that I've ever been in the ring with, purely and utterly, was Spike Steele. So I think Spike Steele definitely had tech move for move with Theory. Probably not as big, because Theory looks like he's around about 6'1", 6'2". But Spike Steele, athletically, and also to maturity now, but he didn't have the real love for the business. That's why he didn't hang around.
Wayne Starr, sorry.
Wayne Starr, yes, Wayne Starr. And And ability-wise, you could have probably even argued Josh Shooter in that as ability, and the way he moves, he's a lot like Josh Shooter. The way they move, Theory moves, and his movement and his body language and that kind of thing, but definitely not the maturity or the mindset. Like Josh, his mindset was always wrong. But those two guys, especially Spike Steele, like Spike Steele would be probably the guy that, if he had have kept his mind in on the game, could have went a lot further than everybody else. You know.
But the point we're making, I guess, is there's very few age to the level of what Theory's doing. Look, I'm a fan in terms of for his age and experience, what he's doing, what he's achieving, and all the rest of it. But I wouldn't go too gung-ho and give him everything in the first year.
I think one thing that Theory must have above those two names that I mentioned is the want, desire, and the intelligence. And both the two guys I mentioned lacked at least one or two of those things. So I think it's a total package. You can be a great worker, great looks, great movement, but if you don't have the passion, the want, the passion, the mental, the maturity, right, of it all, you know, then you'll never get there. And this kid seems to be has the total package at this point. So only time will tell.
I mean, Vince McMahon's not a total idiot by any stretch of the imagination. So for him to put all his eggs in that basket,
ask his last secretary.
Cheers.
Bazinga.
Bazinga.
But you know what I mean. He's been around his whole life, the business. Like he knows, genuine potential when he sees it.
Well, what I did like in the match, it was a good flying match.
Yeah.
And Theory gave Lashley all the strength spots, the power stuff, made him look like $1 million. And the transition was great. Like he went for, what is Theory's finisher?
Oh, that
knee to the head.
Something like that,
yeah.
Yeah.
That set up into the Hurt Lock was brilliant.
Yes.
It was brilliant the way he set up everything and slid into that. And they teased it in the first where he slid out of it. They teased it early on in the match. So the psychology of the match was smart. And no, look, I gave that match 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it.
Did you?
I did. I really enjoyed it for what it was.
I went 6. Okay.
Where did you go, Anthony?
I went 4, and the sole purpose I was pissed off that they gave the belt to Lashley.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
You weren't happy at the time. What do you think of the match, right?
It was a good match. I just don't like the fact they put Lashley over.
Oh, I think it was a smart move in all that's said and done. I think because I said this to you while we were watching it. I said at the end of the day, this is going to be better for Theory than him sitting there holding onto that belt.
Oh, yeah.
He's not just warming a bench now at the moment. He's in there in the mix, so I think it'll work out better for him.